all this Steve versus Kyle stuff has been brewing for a long time. Okay, as someone who has been on the behind the scenes of it for years now, there's been a lot of animosity brewing within the camp, right? And Kyle is on an island right now, not Epstein Island. He's by himself.
What island?
It's Steve as kind of.
No, doesn't he have Salim?
He does have Salim and technically still has Steiny, but like really it seems like Bradley's kind of completely taken Steve's side and turned against him. Steve obviously had, so like all this is paint the picture like this. You've got the Shahidis and you've got Kyle Forjar trying to run this company, okay? Which involves, like,
amazing
let's be serious,
company.
amazing company, a lot of stuff going on. You've got Happy Dad, you've got Full Send, you've got Full Send Golf, you've got a million different little enterprises and niches and things going on.
A lot of people's lives too.
Involved, 100%. Employees, everybody.
Of course.
And one of the people pushing that along and making that thing bigger is this explosive nuclear bomb, which is SteveWillDoIt. And now it brings up this like tried and true thing where you have this radioactive warhead that can bring you to greatness in Steve and really drive viewership by the crazy antics. But if it starts to go haywire, it affects the fucking business. And so I think at first Steve was a way of like really turning up the volume on everything and doing all this crazy stuff, but eventually it became like, yo, Steve can be a liability for the enterprise. And if he gets in trouble with YouTube, he's going to turn on YouTube and he's going to cause problems potentially for all of us. And you started to see this kind of rift form between the organization and Steve. And I think Steve was unhappy or unsatisfied with equity and with royalties, outputs, whatever over the years. So this rift just kind of continued to form. And what are you doing right now?
In
Were
that
you just
moment,
taking a picture of yourself?
no, I was just checking that my hair wasn't too crazy.
And for years it was like a silent battle. Like it seemed like it was just like kind of like trading shots that weren't real, but now it's obviously become real. I saw Steve at the Brand Risk event.
You know why this sucks?
What?
Is because when you have people who have both been in the same camp and at one point played on the same team for so long, when they say stuff about each other, a lot of times it's almost immediately accepted as truth. And so when Steve is coming out and saying XYZ about Kyle or vice versa, I think people assume it to be true because it's like, oh, well, he's in the camp.
Yeah, he's in the, so he
this
knows
must
shit.
be true. Like
Yeah.
he knows something more than we do. And this was the information that maybe I thought happened, but now he's confirming it. And I know this phenomenon, and it sucks because it happened with George. And it was part of the reason that when that whole falling out happened, I was a little concerned with what he would say, and he ended up saying a lot of stuff that simply wasn't true. And I felt like I had to go on the offensive, or actually the defensive, and just be like, yo, like, here's the 8 things he said that simply aren't true. And here are the receipts. Because otherwise, why would you believe me? So, and thank God I had the receipts. But when Steve comes out and it says, Kyle's botting views, this happened, that happened. It's like, I think a lot of people are like, yes, Steve's right. Like what? Like
I think
he came from within the camp.
Kyle, truthfully, because I've talked to him about it a lot, wants to do that. He wants to come out and be like, they want to come on the show. Kyle wants to come on the show. I wanted to get both of them on the show together.
That's insane.
But Steve, now Kyle's got to be very angry. This past 3 days, Steve went on a fucking bender. What he does is he posts all these stories and then he deletes them all. Because he did it to me too after the episode. He posts fucked up shit, like really unhinged shit, and then he deletes them all when he like sobers up. And he'll post that. He'll be like, this is why I don't drink.
He said he was sober though.
No. He was drinking during the PSG betting. But Kyle wants to come out and Kyle has all these contracts and all these sheets with all this information on this and that. But the thing is the internet will always react to and side with the lunatic.
Crazy.
And so I love both these guys. I love Steve. I love Kyle. I love Sammy and John. I know we've known these guys for a fucking decade. I've known them. Okay. Kyle can't do it because Steve will simply win because he'll out crazy him.
Yeah.
And the internet will side with the media.
Loves the crazy.
They will.
Loves the
They'll
crazy.
He'll come out. Kyle will present a bunch of facts that no
Yeah.
one will give a fuck about. Here's the
Yeah.
contract
Yeah.
that clearly says what Steve's saying isn't true. Steve will come out, drop the N-bomb a bunch of times. The internet will be like, he's right. We're with
Yeah.
him. He's more real. You can't out crazy Steve. No one
that's
can
for
do
sure.
it.
That's why it sucks. You're right. It's unwinnable. Nothing
No,
you
nothing
can do or
Kyle
say
does, he
will
can't
penetrate Steve because Steve has built his brand in a way where he doesn't need permission to do or say anything.
Nothing.
And in that regard, he's hailed as like
Real,
real and
authentic.
authentic.
That was actually, but I'm
That was
on the
great.
same path.
Yes.
I'm literally seeing everything you're saying, and it's so true. And by the way, that's one of the reasons he wins. And it's great to be able to do that. But when it comes to matters of interpersonal disagreement and business, Kyle has to protect, but also act accordingly to some set of guidelines. Steve can literally come on the show right now, blow a line of Tusi, drop a hard R, be gay it doesn't matter.
I think though it does over time. If you just keep on yelling the same stuff, people get
So
People get over it.
No, so this is kind of the strategy I think on Kyle's side is like why Steve put out like 100 stories around. I think eventually people just be like, okay, dude. Like if Kyle says nothing back, hey man, you're hitting the ball against the wall to yourself. We don't want to. We don't care anymore.
It takes time, but it will happen.
You gave me this analogy a while back.
It's the best analogy
12
ever
years.
in the history.
12 years ago.
Back to the world of Drama Alert and Keem and all this shit.
I learned it 15 years
the
ago.
most important thing Jeff taught either of us. Go ahead.
All this drama, this chatter, the back and forth. It's like a game of tennis.
which I just played this morning with
if
Jorge.
you don't hit the ball back, the game stops.
It's over.
Don't
There's
hit
no
the
more
ball
game.
back.
The ball is dead on the side of the court. No one in the audience wants to sit and look at the dead ball.
No, it's over.
It's over. So in a lot of ways, in this internet world, you really have to make decisions as to if you want to respond to shit.
And at
And,
times
like-
it's fun, and you can win on the banter and the
Which
rising
in that
everybody.
case, if it aids your career or relevancy, go for it. But funny enough, a good example of this is the Drake Kendrick situation. Drake didn't hit the ball back. Instead, he
won
said,
the
yo,
game.
I'm going to go play a different game. Drops 42 songs on top 100.
Well, no, but he did hit the ball back on this, but it was weird. He like
I don't know.
No, he did. No, he
dropped
No,
that
I meant,
track.
dude, he's talking about fucking Spud Webb dunking and LeBron and
it
like
felt like a reference. It's that he's like not playing a different game. Is what I'm saying.
No, he hit the ball back, but
it wasn't.
It was
in
an
the, it wasn't
ace.
in the vein of.
It was an ace.
No,
Like,
it
everybody was
wasn't
like,
in the-
"See you
No,
later."
to his point, it wasn't in the vein of battle rap.
Yeah.
like the battle part ended, and now he's rap.
It was like an experience. The issue with Kyle not hitting the ball back is they are still interwoven in business. Like Steve still owns Happy Dad, and
I don't know about
like,
now.
Well, no,
He's
literally
'cause-
Steve has equity
No,
in
but-
Happy Dad,
well-
for example. So Kyle, because they say the best revenge is success. So if Kyle goes out there and hustles his ass off and builds Full Send and Happy Dad to these big companies, the best revenge is success. But the guy you're beefing with is also eating off that success.
hold
So
on.
it's like you're building these almost for him for free.
If you think for 1 second that John Shahidi didn't have a disparagement part in that Happy Dad contract with Steve, you're out of your mind. Steve going online and saying Happy Dad is gross, drink Los Toxicos Amigos.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, bro, you're disparaging the brand and promoting a competitor. You really think John Sheedy doesn't have a disparagement clause in the fucking contract?
I doubt it.
Jeff, you really don't think that he has a disparagement
You don't do that
clause in the fucking-
for an equitable owner like
just-
that.
Are you fucking high? I have a disparagement clause in the agreement on this show.
because we're smart. No,
Is that
I'm
true?
kidding.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh wait.
If I leave, if
That
I
is
go out on
true.
any
Of course.
given week and
That
start
is
shit
true.
talking,
Because of
you, I'm
George.
gonna-
Yeah.
No,
Because George.
Yeah, it was because of George.
Oh, it was called the George Janko clause in the
Yep.
contract. It was.
you got a
There's a new term for it.
you got a bump in equity, and then there was a
They added
clause in
clause.
there.
Hey, we're gonna need you to not talk shit.
You can only say
Thank
nice
you.
things about Logan's brands.
It's
No,
it's
you-
really tough. It's even if the disparagement's in there, it's still a very tough situation to get somebody out and what happens. Like there's so many. There's so many scenarios that you sit in a room and you're like, discuss what happens if we pull him. Well, then he's gonna be like, yeah, I got kicked out, and now it could send sales tanking down because people. You know, like it sucks.
It does. I mean, really, the winning scenario was, and it's probably too late for it now, was to fix it. And it just seems like I don't know. It definitely sucks for Kyle, because here's the thing. Kyle is actually a really good guy. He's a humble guy. He's a nice guy. And Steve is actually a nice guy, but Steve is very conflicted, as you saw by way of our episode. He's got a lot of fucking shit going on, dude. And it's not always to work with somebody who's in the throes of active problems.
Sad.
But he is a really great guy, and they're both really awesome. And I ran into Steve at Brand Risk. I hadn't seen him since the episode. He wants to come back on the show. He wants to have an episode where he's sober. And I in my eyes, that's something you in my life, that's something you certainly award to someone. Okay, you want to be sober. You want to come on and do something in the right frame of mind. In my eyes, that makes sense.
Hey there, Impulsive viewer. If you like that clip, check out another one just somewhere around this video screen.